All right, well, let's get started. Hey, everybody, welcome to Trapolate's first webinar. Spend 30 minutes with Bob, save days on your next TDQ. I'm Harry Bauer. I lead up Trapolate sales efforts, and this is the man, Bob Gates, Trapolate's founder. Bob, you ready to party?
Let's do this.
Cool. Hey, before we get started, just want to go through a few housekeeping things. There's a Q&A section at the bottom, and that's where I would love for you to put any questions that you have throughout. I'll surface some to Bob as it makes sense throughout the webinar. I'll answer a few by typing the answer to you, and want to let you know that if we don't get to one of your questions by the end, I'll follow up with you and make sure that you get an answer. Um, and we'll share more about that at the end of the webinar. There's also some information that I'll share out with everybody, our contact info and email address. If you're interested in staying connected, learning about what Trapolate's up to, or even, you know, the more large topic of AI and the intersection of finance, connect with us, follow us. We'd love to stay in touch. And then finally, if you know anybody that didn't know about the webinar but is interested in learning more, we're more than happy to meet. And I'll send out a link to Bob's calendar where you can get in touch with him directly and schedule some time. That was it for me. Without further ado, Bob Gates.
Awesome. Um, Before we get started, two quick things. One, hi, wife. I know you're there. My wife's been wanting me to do a webinar. So, hi,
Hi.
Jenny. I love you. Two, Harry, thank you so much for doing this. Harry's on vacation and he's taken, an hour today to help with this, and I really appreciate it. All right, let's jump in. Um,
Let's do it.
so we're going to do this a little differently. Harry and I do this demo all the time. And when we were thinking about, ways to turn it into a webinar, we thought, let's do this Letterman style. Except instead of a top 10 list, we're going to have a top 3 list today because we don't have a ton of time. So, Harry, can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. We're going to go through the top 3 challenges we hear on every demo and every conversation we have with potential clients.
Yes. All about, by the way, how can we use AI to answer DDQs faster? We also have a lot of people who signed up for this webinar who aren't necessarily filling in DDQs, but are filling in questionnaires. So for those guys, the DDQ is a due diligence questionnaire, but Travelate works for any kinds of questionnaires. So we'll try and keep it. We try and use the word questionnaire, but we say DDQ a lot. We have a lot of customers in finance. All right. Drum roll, please. Number
What's
one.
number 1?
Number one.
If I don't know an answer is accurate, AI doesn't save me any time. How do I know?
We hear that all the time, Harry. Um, how do you know that an answer that Trapolate's AI gives you is accurate? Um, so right here, this is a screenshot of what Trapolate looks like in our chat function. So here we've asked the question, list the members of the firm's investment committee. Trapolate acts like a person. If you have done a bunch of questionnaires in your past and you get a new question, the first thing you do is look through your old questionnaires and see if you've answered the question before. If you have, you then take the answer for that because it's usually been approved by your legal or compliance team or an expert in your company, and you then go, all right, when did I answer that question? Then you look for any new information, either in questionnaires you've done since then, in any documents, marketing materials, and you go, all right, there's new information, and then I want to use as much of the old answer as I can and update it with that new info, and then you're good to go. Trapolate behaves the same way. So first, it looks to see if the question has been asked before and if there are previously approved answers. So in this question here, it found a previous question. It's not an exact match, but it's similar to the question that's being asked. And it's going, okay, I can pull some information there. Then it looks to see if there are any documents that would inform the answer. yes, there's a personnel biography that has some information there. And then it drafts the response. So it acts like a person, right? It's just, it does it in seconds instead of the minutes it would take you to go find your old answers. If you're super organized, maybe you have an Excel spreadsheet where you've kept every question and answer that you've ever answered. But what we find is most people just have like a folder with a bunch of old questionnaires that have been completed, and they're control Fing to find the answer and then updating.
Yeah, so let's go on the control F, right? We get questions like this all the time in conversations with potential clients. Is, sometimes I get a question, I know I already have an approved answer. It's somewhere. I don't want to have to go back and forth between compliance. How do I find it?
Good question, Harry. All right, I cheated a bit by showing
Yeah,
screenshots. I know
get
you hate
into
that.
it.
Let's look at the actual product. All right, in this, now we're in Trapolate itself. Obviously, all the information here, all the names, figures, none of it is real. But the questionnaire that's been uploaded here is a real blank questionnaire. And so when you upload a blank questionnaire into Trapolate, we ingest it and we digitize it. Then Trapolate answers it. So Harry's question was, well, can Trapolate show me if I've answered that question before? And the answer, Harry, is yes. So if I come in here and I go, there's a question match badge right here. That means that in the past, that question has been asked, and the approved answer badge shows that we have answered it, and it's using that answer word for word. So in the real world, when you get a questionnaire and you upload it into Trapolate, you get this. This is the screen you get, and it's drafted responses. It's showed you when it's using old responses, right? The approved answers. And so usually what our clients do is they go in and they're like, hey, show me all of the question matches that have approved answers. And they go, yep, that's right. I don't need to revisit this. And they just immediately approve. All right. Then, so you can see now I have some of these questions have been approved. Then they go, all right, what do I want to answer next? Let's say I want to look at questions about compliance. Who's the firm's chief compliance officer? How did Trapolate get that answer? Let's jump into AI chat. So here, this is that same chat interface where we were seeing screenshots before of one question at a time. So we're looking and we're going, all right, it didn't find any old questions and answers to use as a model, but it did find new information in a source document, right? And it's then drafted a response based on the information it found here. Harry, did I answer your question?
Yeah, that's like, I have another question.
What?
What's the cool map infographic looking thing you've got on the top right there?
That's a good question. So when you upload documents, source documents, when you ask questions and approve them, or even upload completed questionnaires that we then pull apart and build a library of your approved questions and answers. At the same time, we are building a map, a knowledge map, or a map of facts on top of all of your source data. So anytime, if I click approve here, that map will change. So when you look at that map, if I were to click in there, it would show me how the AI triangulated in between pieces of that document to formulate the answer. So it's a knowledge map. And that map is constantly changing and growing as your account grows, as there's more information in there. So the way that we have instructions for the AI, the way I hesitate to use the word train, but the way we've trained the AI, and couple that with the knowledge map, it really it gives us a unique way to answer questions that is, it's a game changer, really, Harry, on getting the best answers as quickly as possible. And it
When
allows
we hear
you,
that,
when you go in and communicate with the AI, you can get to your end answer and get it approved faster than you would normally.
yeah, we hear that all the time, right? If it's not a word for word answer, or we're pulling, from a few different documents for a question like you had on the screen a moment ago, we get the question, where does it come from, right? How does it crystallize all that information? And if you're a visual person, that's a pretty nice way to see it. That's pretty slick.
Absolutely. Have I
That's
answered all
cool
your questions for number one, Harry?
so far, but I'm going to have some more. I will.
I know you do. You always do. All right. Drum roll, please. What is number two?
Let's get into number two. AI doesn't save me time when I have to copy and paste answers into the same DDQ every quarter, right? Especially if only one piece of information's changed, or one figure in one field of, one financial report's changed. Uh, it's overkill.
Yes.
What do
We
we do
hear
about
this one a
that?
lot is, hey, I get the same questionnaire every quarter from the same allocator or the same, investor. And it takes forever. I have to copy and paste my old answers and look for updates, and it takes forever. So I'm going to answer this challenge, Harry, by showing you. Um, let's look at what that blank DDQ looked like before we uploaded it into Traplate. Right. So I uploaded this. It
So this is one
ingested
I'd
it.
get from, I'd get this sent to me, right? I'd take this doc,
Yeah.
put it right in a Interpolate.
Yeah. Right now you're getting that every quarter. Um, I'm just going to approve everything. Some of these answers, obviously, we haven't worked on. They're not right, but for the sake of argument for here, let's say they are. All right, I've approved them. Now this generate document link appeared here. I click this. All right, it's filled in. It's filled in the blank. Fills in the tables. It answers a single choice, multiple choice. Um, it has formatting, so our answers come back with the AI will format things. And actually, every customer, you can go into your organization settings, and there's a style guide where you can have it format things the way you want, or you can turn formatting off. Um, but what's cool is, all right, you're getting this every quarter, and you can come into Traplate and you can say, hey, I want to run it again on August 1st, and then I want to run it, you know, whatever cadence afterwards for however long you want. So then every quarter, uh, this question set, this questionnaire, it'll duplicate itself and it'll just re-answer itself. And if nothing's changed, remember we saw the question match and approved answers, that's just going to line the whole thing. If something has changed, there's new documents that have come in with newer information, there are questions and answers that have come in that would change an answer, then you'll go through the same process we did, most likely. You'll approve everything that has an approved answer. You'll then make sure that the new answers are right. You might quickly edit them. You might send them to a colleague to review. And then you're done. The other cool thing, and I know, Harry, this is your favorite thing. Um,
Oh, me.
I know. Every account has an email address, and you can just send emails or you can send documents into your account. So every account has a unique email. And if you send a document or multiple documents to that email address, it'll automatically go into your source documents. Then every quarter, when the questionnaire runs automatically, it'll pick up any new information that's been emailed in. So what that means is if you have colleagues who are putting together reports, they can just email it directly into Traplate. Or if they send it to you, you can create an email rule. It automatically goes into Traplate. The questionnaire runs automatically, and all of this happens without you or your colleagues even logging in.
Good,
I
but
know you love that.
yeah, but anybody could send an email. That
Not anybody, Harry.
how, how do we, yeah, how do we put some guardrails around that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, in order to send an email into an account, you have to be a member of that account. So, if Harry Bauer is not a member of this is STA Partners account, you cannot email into that account. So it's very structured. Now, we have a role where you might not want your colleague to be able to see everything in the account. That's okay. We have a special role where all they can do is email in. They don't have to log in, um, but we'll set them up and they can email.
I know a few folks who probably hate, I don't know, they got a new tool, they got to log into a new system. That's a real pain. So from their perspective, it's get an email, respond, auto forward some reports, and they can largely stay just in the environment they're already working in.
Yes,
Is that correct? I like that quite a bit.
it's great. Yeah, you set it, forget it, and then you get notified. And hey, this ran this quarter, and we had two changes. Um, I have the approval authority. I can click approve. I can download the finished product and email it to the the person who sent it, the allocator or investor, whoever it might be. And yeah, it's quick.
Yeah, that sounds like it saved some teams a ton of time. We have a live question that just came in,
Yes.
which I love because it leads right into number three. But this question from Melissa says, why can't I just use Claude? Which
Oh man.
is great. It's almost
Yes.
like you're leading us right into the next section of this.
That is one of the challenges that we hear in every demo. I use Claude a lot. Can Claude talk to Trapolate? That would save me a lot of time. So you can use Claude, and you can use Claude so you can use Trapolate. Uh, you know, we have a custom system that's meant just for answering questions in a walled garden with only your company's info that you've put in there. You can use that to generate answers to questions, and you can use Trapolate to send it to your colleagues and get their approval. All that audit trail can live in Trapolate. But if you're working in Claude or ChatGPT, we have MCP servers with both. You can now uh, access your library, your question answer library, through the LLM tools of your choice.
Okay, so you've asked Claude a question.
Yep. And then let's see, tell me the question and answer word for word from Trapolate. So there we go. So it'll give you exactly what's in your question and answer library. When you this is It's not with Trapolate out of the box. We work with you to configure your Claude. It takes 30 seconds, and add Trapolate and as a connector, and then you can pick from the list of tools on what functions do you want to allow Claude access to in your account, or ChatGPT, or nothing. Um, so yeah, you have the walled garden of your Trapolate account, and then you have tools that can access that walled garden if you want. We have a lot more integrations that are coming in addition to LLMs. So
Okay, so I can connect to Claude. Let's say my compliance policy explicitly states that we've got restrictions around using AI.
yeah,
Um, when if I were to sign up with Trapolate, how is AI built to make sure that none of my, sensitive information gets into the larger Claude or OpenAI brain?
yes. Okay, so we're looking at Claude here. and you have actively, right, connected your Claude to Trapolate. If you have corporate policies, though, where you do not want any LLM touching your information, but you are a Trapolate user because we passed all of your cybersecurity checks, um, the LLMs, they can't, right? You have to actively go in, and we have to do it with you, set it up. Now, your account out of the box in Trapolate, the LLM can only see any documents you upload, any blank questionnaires, any approved questions and answers. And if you ask it a question and the information is not in your walled garden, it's not in your account, it comes back and says, there is not enough information to answer this question. Please upload more information. So it's not going out. We also have special agreements with the LLMs that we use. And we use several. So we use Claude, we use ChatGPT, or OpenAI. We have special agreements that prohibit them from storing or learning from your documents and data.
Excellent. That's great. I have so many more questions. We have some questions coming in.
Awesome.
You mind if I just fire a few at you?
Hit me.
So I've got one. Filling out the Q&A, the DDQ is great, but oftentimes writing disclaimers where we want to put a disclaimer on a question or a few of them. Do we go and add those manually? How does that work?
All right. So disclaimers. We already ran this questionnaire, but I'll show you where you can manage your disclaimers. We call them footnotes. So you can come in here
Oh,
and you can
nice.
build a library of footnotes or disclaimers. And then when you are answering a questionnaire, remember how filtered by uh, uh, we filtered by the badge, and then we clicked select all and clicked button to approve
Yeah.
everything. There's another button that says footnote. So you can choose one or more footnotes. You can choose which questions you want to add them to, and boom, you're done. So the use case that we hear is, hey, if a certain word or a certain set of string of words is in an answer, we have to include a certain disclaimer. So you would literally go into the question set and type in the words and click select all and then add disclaimer or footnote.
Awesome. That seems like it would be a nice, easy solution for a lot of the teams out there. We've got another live question. So where does the data live? You have your, ESG policies and old DDQs. Where do they
Yes.
go when you put them in a Trapolate?
So when you upload them into Trapolate, we host Trapolate on AWS. So they're sitting on our AWS cloud. It's fully encrypted in the app, and your documents, your data, so your question and answer library, approval dates, who approved it, all of that is sitting on AWS, and it's backed up. Here, I'm jumping into a question. I wanted to show there's an audit trail for everything. So all of that data, right, is sitting on AWS. So yeah,
Excellent.
I know we're in a future webinar, we're going to talk about compliance and stuff, but we're SOC 2, Type 2 compliant, and everything is very secure.
Yeah. To say we take security as seriously as anyone we're working with.
Yep.
That's excellent. So now my wheels are turning a little bit, right? If I'm on the webinar, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I could put myself in the shoes of potentially working with Trapolate. How long does it take to stand up an account, to get started, get everything in, and start to get meaningful value out of Trapolate? Is it like a 2-month onboarding process? Does it take a week? What does it look like?
That's a good question. We get that a lot. You can literally give us one or all or as many as you want of your completed DDQs. And by giving us, I mean, you can do this yourself. You can upload them, and the AI will pick out the questions and answers, and it'll build your question and answer library for you. And you can drag and drop documents, and there's no limit on that. If you're coming out of another system, another RFP or DDQ system, those systems typically allow you to dump your data into a CSV file, and we can import that CSV file and build your library in seconds.
Awesome. And then as it relates, after I get that in, can I upload? We talked about uploading blank DDQs. What formats can we use when we
Uh,
upload? Are there any that are difficult for
so
Droplet?
you can upload Word docs, PDFs, Excel files, and you can download them completed.
And then we saw too, to download the completed document. Does it follow a Trapolate formula or link to the style guide, or does it download in that same format that it came in?
So when you upload a blank one, we look at the format that it's in, and it downloads it in the same font and colors as the uploaded blank. But in terms of bullet points, bolding stuff, the formatting of an answer, you can do that in Trapolate, and when you download it, it'll persist.
Excellent.
So if you have an Excel file and it's got drop downs, when it downloads, it'll answer using the drop down. All of that stuff will still be there.
Great. That's a nice touch. Well, great. Bob, those are our questions that we've gotten to in the time. And thanks everybody
Awesome.
for attending. If you're curious about learning more, again, we'll send out our contact information to each of you and a link to Bob's calendar if you'd like to learn more. And on our next webinar, we'll talk about workflows and compliance and how some of your SMEs can, approve some of those answers in parallel and save you a ton of time, often without having to log into the platform at all. And how that simple orchestrated process can still produce a pretty crystal clear audit trail for compliance. So thanks everyone again for the time. Appreciate you being here. And on August 4th, we'll have one more, and we'll send you a link to the next webinar in our series. Final thoughts,
Thank
Bob?
you. Thank you, Harry. Get back to
Thank you.
vacation. Appreciate it.
Thanks. I'm going to go jump
Thanks,
in the lake.
everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care.